All right, I'm live. Okay, I figured it would be anticlimactic if I totally didn't actually record a video of startup. So my kid's not coming with me. I'm just gonna go to the gas station, put some fresh fuel in the car here. Oh, love that sound. And I love manual seats. Let's see if I can do this. All right. I also like to, because I don't drive this car very often, I like to, turn the AC compressor on every once in a while to keep the oil circulated in the system. You don't want the seals to dry out. All right, so window open. All right, you get to watch me drive. Exciting, very exciting. So where I live, I have a close curbs together. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. So I'm gonna do a little backwards maneuvering. There's also a lot of construction where I'm at, so I don't want to drive in the spots where I know there could be nails, other things. So I do a little bit of this. Clean off the rust off the rotors. Now I did replace the ABS sensors on all four wheels, and because I have a light, I have an ABS sensor light on my car, and it could also be there's a sensor in the master cylinder as well, and I hope it wasn't that one because it's kind of a pain in the butt to get to, because I have to get to where the brake cylinder is. Loosen the brake line, remove the sensor, and put a new one in. And I hate dealing with brake fluid. It's really slippery. It kind of makes a mess. If you get it on your paint, it eats paint up. Don't like that. It is a gorgeous day outside. 64 degrees. And I realize now I left my radar detector at home, so that's not cool. Morning. All right. It's probably been about a month since I took this car out. Maybe a month and a half. It hasn't helped that we have this COVID crap going on, or had the COVID crap going on. So no one was really going anywhere anyway. It's funny going back and forth between I have an F85 X5M and an E70 X5M, and the E70 I'm in the process of selling, or was in the process of selling, but I put a hold on that because no one's really in the market for buying a 500 horsepower SUV right now during COVID, so I had to move it while I worked on my buddy's Mercedes. And going from hydraulic steering to electronic power steering between the F85 and the E70, it's remarkable how much more weighted it is. So I guess the comment that I'm coming here is, this car has hydraulic steering, and it feels so nice. And by nice, I mean, like, I don't know, it's like a great weight to it. And I can feel what the tires are running over, which is kind of cool. You don't really get that with the newer cars. All right. So this car, if this is your first time watching this, has SMG. And it's so funny reading different reviews from people about SMG, how terrible it is, or clunky it is, or or unfun it is, whatever. And I gotta say, when I bought this car, used. I bought it with 19,000 miles on it back in 2008, California. And I purposefully wanted the car with SMG. I came out of a Z4 M coupe, a coupe, not a coupe. Coupe is where chickens live. And that was a 6-speed. And I don't know. I got my experience with driving an S54 with a 6-speed transmission. And after reading a lot of reviews on SMG, and there was a technical white paper that someone had done. Let's go this way. That someone had done back before when SMG was first released. Waiting for the car to warm up. It just seemed attractive to me and interesting to me. So I bought it, kind of knowing what I was going into. And once you learn how to drive it, meaning you change gears with your foot off the throttle, it's fun to drive, and it's a lot of fun on the track too. I've done that a couple of times in this car. And so for now, I'm going to shut up, and as the car warms up, we just crested 120 degrees Fahrenheit for the oil. I'll wait a little bit longer. I'm about 2,800 RPMs. I will share beautiful, naturally aspirated, carbon fiber, accentuated intake noise. All right, another second here. Downshift 4th, 3rd. Sport mode on, so we can have full airbox opening. The AC off. Happy roads. All right, 3rd gear. Drop it 2nd. And I'm only shifting at 5,500 RPM. I'll wait another couple more seconds and then I go to full 7,000-8,000 or so. We're almost fully warmed up. I tell you, there's nothing like early day or kind of early morning drives, especially when it's cooler outside. You know, here we are in May. What's that? Good. I don't want to be T-boned. All right. Sport mode on. I'm going to shut that off for a second. So, if you're so this car has an S54 motor with a CSL intake and with a functioning flap. And if you're unfamiliar with that, it basically means there's a single panel filter and a giant opening, air opening, for the intake manifold, which lets a lot of air in and also a lot of noise out. The noise of the cylinders sucking in air and making all their glorious mechanical sounds. So that's part of the reason why the intake noise is louder than it would otherwise normally be with a closed intake system on the stock car. And the flap has a functional. So there's a flap that kind of restricts air to come in from a smaller inlet to full open, where air comes in from basically a small opening in the bumper. And with sport mode on, the flap is kind of open all the time. I'm doing this because it's flap closed, flap open. When sport mode is off, it normally opens up, and there's a change in sound and kind of acceleration a little bit at around 5,500 RPM, 57 or so. And it's almost similar to when VTEC comes on a Honda engine. So you get a little surge of power, and then an audible change in induction. There's a pickup truck in front of me. don't want to be that guy that rides people's butts. So I'm gonna back off a little bit. Got a second gear. Maybe go to first. Do a little. All right, so let's try this. Let's do sport mode instead. It's louder. All right, let's try that. Gotta burn some fuel. Okay, go to first gear. Yeah. Yes. In the words of Hans Stuck, let's see how fantastic these brakes are. If you haven't seen Hans drive an M6 on the Autobahn, I'll see if I can find the clip. Just look up Hans Stuck M6 Autobahn, and it's him and this other guy Mike from one of the channels back in the day. And he gets it to 200 miles an hour on the Autobahn, and it's hysterical because he gets so excited as he's driving, you know, up to 200 miles an hour, and then he has to slam on his brakes because someone cuts in front of him. That's it. All right, so I'm gonna keep driving. I'm gonna shut this off. Figured I'd provide the climax, if you will, for those that sat through the first video. Sorry for that. I didn't realize how unorganized I was until I started doing it. But I appreciate your attention. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your car. Drive safe.